FBI flags 100 UFC fights over alleged fixing. Is the UFC in trouble with the FBI? UFC Vegas 110 card was underwhelming to say the least, but it is now facing even more criticism after shocking fight-fixing allegations involving the main card bout between Isaac Dulgarian and Yadir Del Val. If what's being claimed is true, things could be about to get much worse. MMA journalist Harry Mack shared several serious claims on X, saying that the FBI reportedly warned the UFC that the Dulgarian vs. Del Val fight had been flagged and that sportsbooks had already shut down betting on it, but the UFC still let the fight happen. Mack also alleged that the FBI flagged over 100 other fights for suspicious betting activity, including 2 more from the same event, and particularly featuring referee Jason Herzog. He said, federal regulators have flagged over 100 UFC fights this year for abnormal betting patterns, including 2 additional fighters on UFC Vegas 110 card. Shit is about to get very ugly. Still working to confirm, but it sounds like the feds are moving to audit Jason Herzog's fights. It's important to point out that none of Harry Mack's claims have been independently verified yet. However, the situation has raised eyebrows, especially since major sportsbooks like Caesars, William Hill, and DraftKings reportedly refunded bettors after noticing suspicious line movement and possible irregularities around the Dulgarian vs. Del Val fight. The UFC has also responded to the controversy by firing Dulgarian, who is alleged to have taken money to throw the fight. Here is what the UFC statement said. Like many professional sports organizations, the UFC works with an independent betting integrity service to monitor wagering activity on our events. Our betting integrity partner, IC360, monitors wagering on every UFC event and is conducting a thorough review of the facts surrounding the Dulgarian vs. Del Val bout on November 1. We take these allegations very seriously, and along with the health and safety of our fighters, nothing is more important than the integrity of our sport. While the UFC says it was an independent incident, several current and former fighters have added a crazy twist to the story, claiming that they were also approached to throw a fight. 10-fight UFC veteran Vanessa Demopoulos said, "Yeah, people have approached me to throw fights also. My integrity could never. We've spent our lives learning skills and honoring this sport. Can't believe people compromise their morals like this." Vince Morales said, "All this throwing the fight stuff is crazy. I've been approached about doing it and it's not something I could live with, even though I ended up losing the damn fight anyways." Morales also claimed that he was offered $70,000 to throw a fight, but he refused to take those pennies. Lando Vannata said, "Fair, I was approached to throw a fight 7 times. My record reflects my integrity." Is the UFC in big trouble? Well, not sure about the UFC, but Ronda Rousey has stirred trouble with Team Khabib because of her recent statements. Khabib's manager slams Ronda Rousey. Khabib Nurmagomedov's manager Ali Abdelaziz might not have caught the full story, but he definitely had something to say about Ronda Rousey's recent comments. During a recent interview, Rousey opened up about how she feels the media and fans have in some ways damaged her MMA legacy. She argued that fighters in MMA don't get the same lasting respect as athletes in other sports, especially if they lose a few times before retiring. Rousey mentioned legends like Chuck Liddell and Fedor Emelianenko as examples before pointing out Khabib Nurmagomedov.
One of the greatest ever. Second he loses, oh, Fedor ain't shit. He never was shit. And I think the only reason that why MMA fans have their lips so firmly planted at the base of Khabib's cock is because he retired before he reached his limit. And if he kept fighting until he reached his limit.
When Ali Abdelaziz heard Ronda Rousey's comments about his fighter, he didn't take them too kindly. With the UFC's upcoming visit to the White House in June, talk has started spreading about Ronda Rousey possibly making a comeback.
She's not like a goat, you know, she's just, you know, unhappy. But listen, it's very simple. If you think you better than Khabib, you should come back. And Kayla Harrison, your old friend, I'm sure will be very, very happy to open the door for you and give you an ass whipping if you want. But, you know,
She hasn't confirmed anything yet, but the rumors keep growing. However, Ali Abdelaziz doesn't think a return would go too well for her.
Honestly, in this day and era, how the sport evolved, she's still very young. If she come back, she'll not even be in the top 10. You know, I don't think she'll be in the top 10, my opinion. But, you know, there's only one way.
Ali Abdelaziz wasn't the only one rubbed the wrong way by Ronda Rousey's comments. UFC veteran Matt Brown also took issue with what she said, and he didn't hold back, calling Rousey a sore loser for the way she talked about her legacy and the fans. He said, "It seems like psychologically she's still caught up in that moment when she was fighting. She's like, it's effing bullshit." I should have won. I can sympathize with that feeling because I can go back to some of my own fights I lost and I'm like I did the stupidest thing or I know I shouldn't have taken that fight. I was sick or I had a broken rib in a fight one time. Like what was I even thinking? You get hate after the fight. People say you suck, that's a fact. Go do some great things and inspire some new people. You're going to die just like me one day and people are going to remember something about you. Right now, the way that your road is going, Ronda, what people are going to remember is that you're a sore loser. Do you agree with Matt Brown and Ali Abdelaziz? Francis Ngannou not interested in Jake Paul boxing match. Francis Ngannou has made it clear he's not interested in stepping in to fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul is currently set to face Gervonta Davis in an exhibition bout on Netflix, a matchup that's expected to draw massive viewership. But that fight is now in doubt after Davis' ex-girlfriend Courtney Russell filed a serious lawsuit against him, accusing the boxer of multiple crimes including battery, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. With the fight possibly falling apart, Paul's promotion, Most Valuable Promotions, has reportedly been looking for replacements, and names like Nate Diaz and Francis Ngannou have been mentioned. When asked about it, Ngannou confirmed that Jake Paul's team had indeed reached out.
Yes, Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta, and after I listened, I wasn't getting it. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? What exactly? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? He was like, yeah, can I, can you, we think about you to fight Jake? I'm like, what? Say, we think about you to fight Jake to replace Gervonta. I'm like, who's Jake? I was so confused, I wasn't expecting that at all. And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on, don't.
Francis Ngannou isn't exactly short on boxing experience. He's already gone toe-to-toe with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. In fact, if he faced Jake Paul, he'd be the first opponent bigger and stronger than the YouTuber-turned-boxer. But while it would be a major challenge and a statement fight for Paul, Ngannou doesn't see it the same way. To him, taking that offer would be a step backward, not forward in his career.
Wouldn't be interested.
The fight made no sense. That's what I think. That's my my position. Way I think it's disrespectful instead. What flattering?
No, I think, yeah.
What flattering? Like, come on. So if my I don't know. I don't see it that way.
Do you agree with Francis Ngannou? Kamaru Usman says Daniel Cormier is right to be angry with Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall had a rough UFC 321 fight week, and not just because of how the main event ended. His heavyweight title defense against Cyril Gane was stopped early after an accidental eye poke left him unable to continue, resulting in a no contest. But even before fight night, Aspinall stirred up some controversy. In his YouTube vlog, he shared a private conversation with Daniel Cormier, where DC talked about Aspinall's potential to dominate the division. While it was a genuine moment, Cormier later admitted he was a little upset that their off-camera chat was made public. Kamaru Usman believes DC has the right to be upset.
I mean, should he be upset at Aspinall?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Listen, and when we saw his reasoning behind it, he said, usually when a guy leans in like this, that typically means, hey, this stays between us. Don't tell nobody else. Okay? And he gave him a pep talk. He cheered him up. He let him know, hey, go take care of business. Of course, when he's saying things like that, and there's a hot mic, and he's also saying, hey, the rest of the division are so easy. You can run through this guy and that guy and that guy. That's supposed to be with us, between us. For your team to release that, and for you to approve your team releasing that. That's where the issue is, because that's supposed to be confidential. And so It's like that's right there, the code that you cannot never drop.
Do you agree with Kamaru Usman? Paddy Pimblett thinks he will smash Ilia Topuria. If Paddy Pimblett ends up getting the call to face Ilia Topuria, confidence definitely won't be an issue. Earlier this summer, Topuria made history by becoming just the 10th fighter ever to hold UFC titles in 2 weight divisions, after knocking out Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight belt at UFC 317. Right after that win, Topuria went face-to-face with Pimblett, who was watching from the cage side, hinting that their long-standing feud might finally turn into a fight. Nothing been confirmed yet, but if Pimblett gets the shot, he's already claiming it'll be an easy night for him.
Or how would you get the job done against Ilia? absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing, when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
Do you agree with Paddy Pimblett that he will smash Ilia Topuria in a potential fight? Islam Makhachev talks biggest rivalry in UFC. Islam Makhachev recently shared his thoughts on what he believes is the biggest rivalry in UFC history. During an interview with Match TV, the lightweight champ was asked about Ilia Topuria's rise to fame and how it compares to some of the sport's most iconic rivalries, including the unforgettable feud between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. Makhachev, who vacated his lightweight title to chase gold at welterweight, also addressed the growing buzz around a potential clash with Topuria, a fight many fans are calling the biggest matchup the UFC could make right now. When the conversation turned to Khabib versus McGregor, Islam had this to say: "I don't think my rivalry with Ilia Topuria is even close, but if you compare interests, he's one of the biggest. If you were to pick someone now, he'd be one of the biggest. And Khabib versus Conor, I don't think it'll happen again." Do you agree with Islam Makhachev? Jon Jones begs Dana White to let him fight in White House. Jon Jones has made an emotional request to Dana White, hoping to secure a spot on the upcoming UFC White House card. The historic event is set to take place at President Donald Trump's official residence on June 14, 2026, which will be a first for the promotion. Jones, who is currently retired, admitted that the idea of fighting at the White House reignited his passion for competition. But despite his excitement, Dana White has previously stated that Jones won't be part of the card. While attending Dirty Boxing 4 to support his teammate Gable Steveson, who scored a stunning 13-second knockout, Jones was asked about the potential comeback, and here is what he said.
Can't wait to see you compete the White House. Can't wait to see it.
I know. I really hope it happens. Dana, bro, please, bro. Please. I'm training. I feel great. I'm healthy. And I'd be so honored to represent our country and do what I do best.
Should Dana White allow Jon Jones to compete at the White House? Muhammad Mokaev upset with UFC for ruining his reputation. Muhammad Mokaev has officially moved forward with his career after a messy breakup with the UFC. Despite being undefeated and ranked in the top 10 of the flyweight division, the promotion chose not to re-sign him. The split came right after Mokaev's win over Manel Kape, when Dana White publicly stated that the UFC matchmakers aren't big fans of his. White also mentioned that it wasn't just one issue, but a series of problems that led to the decision, saying there was a lot of bad stuff behind the scenes. By bad stuff, Dana meant that Mokaev and team were in negotiations with the PFL, all while being in contract with the UFC. Mokaev has now found a new home in Brave CF, and while he insists there's no bitterness, he's made it clear that the way things ended with the UFC unfairly damaged his reputation.
You know what got me upset? If you do something like wrong, you don't get upset. You get what you deserve. But when you don't do something, what you've done, what you've been showed on the media as a bad guy, that was what got me upset, to be honest. That's what me go. I don't care about like these contracts, about anything, but something not true cannot come out like this and ruin somebody's reputation. If I'm a bad guy, if I'm hard to deal with, you don't keep guy for 7 fights in your organizations. You kick him out straight away.
Was the UFC unfair with Muhammad Mokaev? So those were all the big stories from today. If you've got any thoughts or opinions about what went down, drop them in the comments below, because we'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.